Have you ever stopped to wonder why the faces that once dominated the silver screen, the icons we grew up admiring, seem to suddenly disappear without explanation? We're used to dramatic headlines blaming scandals or the collapse of a glamorous lifestyle. But the reality behind the curtain is far more heartbreaking. It wasn't controversy. It wasn't lost relevance. It was illness, a quiet, invisible enemy that slowly pulled them away from the spotlight, often in silence and out of sight. Today, we're not here to talk about downfalls. We're talking about quiet, deeply personal battles for survival. From the bittersweet smile of the legendary Tim Curry to the unsettling silence surrounding Bruce Willis, what really happened behind the scenes? Let's draw back the curtain and recognize the remarkable strength of these real-life heroes who never needed capes. Be sure to like, subscribe, and leave a comment with the number 1 if you're ready to hear these untold stories. Let's get started. Catherine Zeta-Jones, long seen as a symbol of beauty, grace, and extraordinary talent, made a deeply brave decision when she publicly shared her diagnosis of bipolar II disorder. In an industry like Hollywood, where stigma and harsh judgment around mental health still persist, her openness felt quietly revolutionary. The intense emotional strain of caring for her husband, Michael Douglas, during his battle with cancer, became a turning point, awakening a condition that had long remained hidden within an otherwise strong, resilient woman. By choosing to seek inpatient treatment and openly share her experience, she sent a powerful message to the world. Mental illness is not a weakness, and it is nothing to be ashamed of. It is a medical condition that deserves proper care and serious treatment, just like any physical illness. Through her honesty, Catherine helped normalize conversations around mental health, opening the door for countless artists and everyday people alike to speak up, seek support, and get the help they truly need. Selena Gomez represents an entire generation of young, gifted stars who have been overwhelmed by relentless public pressure while quietly fighting chronic illness. Living with lupus, a serious autoimmune disease that can attack virtually any organ, Selena has faced life-threatening battles, including a kidney transplant and painful, exhausting treatments. And yet, she was repeatedly judged and ridiculed for changes in her weight by people who never realized those changes were side effects of the powerful medications that were quite literally keeping her alive. Not only has she battled lupus, but she has also confronted bipolar disorder, a double fight that strains both the body and the mind. Instead of letting it break her, Selena went on to build the rare beauty empire with a mission centered on mental health awareness, kindness, and self-acceptance. And the story of her best friend, Francia Raisa, donating a kidney to save her life remains one of the most powerful examples of true friendship in the chaos of Hollywood. A moving reminder that love and selflessness can help heal even the deepest wounds. Sam Neill, forever etched into film history as Dr. Alan Grant in the blockbuster Jurassic Park, once stood fearlessly before roaring tyrannosaurs on the big screen, becoming a symbol of calm courage in the face of danger. But in real life, he found himself confronting a far more frightening and personal enemy. In 2023, the world was stunned when he bravely revealed his long-kept, grueling battle with a rare and aggressive form of blood cancer known as T-cell lymphoma, a fight waged quietly far from the spotlight. He later admitted that those early pages were never meant for publication. They began simply as a long, deeply personal letter to his children and grandchildren. He feared that if he didn't survive, the stories of his life, the true essence of who he was, might quietly vanish forever into the void. Writing became his lifeline, a spiritual anchor that kept him present, grounded, and hopeful, even as he endured wave after wave of relentless physical pain. Although his daily medications constantly remind him of his condition, they are also the very miracle that allows him to reclaim each precious moment of breath and existence. Yet what the public admires most about Sam Neill is not the pain he quietly endures, but his extraordinary outlook in the face of mortality. He calmly told the world that he is not afraid of dying. The only thing that truly frightens him, he said, is boredom and the unsettling idea of being forced to stop creating. The man who had always radiated calm, humor, and quiet strength suddenly seemed fragile in the face of a brutal illness, forced to exist on the razor-thin edge between life and death. During the darkest days of treatment, when the future felt painfully uncertain and death appeared to be drawing closer, Sam Neill began writing his deeply moving and intimate memoir, Did I Ever Tell You This? Sam Neill's fight for survival was anything but gentle. He endured punishing rounds of chemotherapy that left his body weakened, his hair gone, and the powerful image fans once knew slowly worn down by relentless treatment. When conventional chemo stopped working, he made a life-risking leap of faith by turning to a new experimental drug. Today, his survival depends entirely on bi-weekly infusions, a strict, ongoing regimen he must follow for the rest of his life. Instead of retreating into a life of quiet rest, he continues to work tirelessly on film sets while lovingly caring for his treasured vineyard in New Zealand. For Sam Neill, waking up each morning is no longer a simple routine, it is a priceless gift granted by life itself, and he is determined to live every second of that gift with joy, gratitude, and a deep, wholehearted appreciation for the simple fact of being alive. In stark contrast to the enduring legends we've mentioned earlier, the story of Dustin Diamond stands as a somber, heartbreaking reminder of how fragile life can be. Thrust into global fame as a child through his role as the goofy yet lovable Samuel Screech Powers on the hit series Saved by the Bell, Dustin spent his entire childhood bringing pure, innocent laughter to millions of viewers around the world. However, the enormous shadow of that iconic childhood role slowly turned into a heavy burden, one that left him struggling and adrift as he tried to carve out an identity of his own after the bright glow of early fame quietly faded behind the curtain. Dustin's adult life became a series of uncertain, often painful steps through the maze of celebrity, marked by personal struggles and tabloid controversies he never truly sought or wanted. And just as he began making a sincere effort to rebuild his image and rediscover a sense of inner peace, tragedy struck in the most cruel and unexpected way in early 2021. He was diagnosed with stage 4 small cell carcinoma, a devastating lightning-strike blow for a man who had only just entered his mid-40s, an age when most people are still in their prime, building careers, relationships, and long-term futures. The disease advanced with terrifying speed, tearing through his body in just a matter of weeks from the moment it was discovered, leaving him with almost no real chance to fight back or regain control. Dustin Diamond barely had time to brace himself for a long, grueling fight before he was forced to say goodbye to the world, leaving his loved ones and fans in stunned disbelief. His sudden passing became a harsh reminder of just how frighteningly fragile human life truly is, where the distance between living and dying can be as thin as a single breath, impossible to foresee or control. He left this world with his comeback plans still unfinished, leaving behind a deep sense of loss for a talent that never fully found its moment, and for a life shaped by hardship, loneliness, and battles he too often had to face alone. Despite the highs, lows, and controversies of his past, audiences ultimately chose to remember him as the cheerful, carefree Screech, the boy who colored the childhoods of countless 80 Seconds and 90 Seconds kids. Dustin's story reminds us to show greater compassion toward child stars and to truly cherish every moment we're given. Because the truth is, none of us ever really know if tomorrow will come. Next, we come to the story of Linda Ronstadt, a painful, haunting reminder of the most devastating loss an artist can ever face. Once celebrated as the Queen of Rock, Linda possessed one of the most versatile and commanding voices of the 20th century. She was a rare force of nature who could scale every musical peak with effortless grace, from the raw fire of rock to the grounded soul of country to the elegance and technical precision of opera. Her voice was once an irreplaceable gift, a razor-sharp instrument capable of cutting straight to the emotional core of audiences around the world. But fate dealt her a cruel and devastating blow in the form of progressive supranuclear palsy, PSP, a rare neurological disorder even more severe than the Parkinson's diagnosis she initially received. This relentless illness moved slowly, yet without mercy, taking away the most precious gift she possessed, the very essence of her identity and pride, her voice. In 2013, the world was left stunned and heartbroken when Linda revealed that she was no longer able to sing even a single note, a moment that marked the irreversible silence of a legendary nightingale whose voice once defined an era. Close your eyes for a moment and try to imagine the magnitude of that pain. It's like a master painter being stripped of their hands, or a world-class athlete suddenly losing their legs. For Linda, losing her voice wasn't just the loss of a tool, it was the collapse of an entire inner universe. She once described that helplessness with a haunting metaphor, like being trapped in a broken elevator suspended between floors, where the brain desperately sends commands, but the body refuses to respond, leaving only a heavy, absolute silence behind. Even at the very edge of despair, when her voice had fallen completely silent, Linda Ronstadt refused to surrender to a cruel fate. Instead of retreating into the shadows to mourn what she had lost, she chose to step back into the light in a different way. She picked up the pen and wrote her memoir, Simple Dreams, transforming the melodies she could no longer sing into reflective, deeply moving words. The silence in her music was replaced by a new kind of voice, one that was strong, determined, and full of meaning. Today, she stands as a powerful advocate, raising awareness about the rare neurological disease that changed her life and turning her personal tragedy into a source of hope for countless others. Let's begin this journey with Tim Curry, a name that has become truly legendary in the hearts of movie and theater lovers. If you've ever felt a chill run down your spine at the sinister grin of Pennywise in it, or found yourself mesmerized by the wild, eccentric charm of Dr. Frank N. Furter in the Rocky Horror Picture Show, then you already understand the magnetic power he possessed. Tim Curry was never just an actor. He was the very definition of transformation, a force of explosive energy, paired with a thunderous, commanding voice that could completely own any stage he stepped onto. But life doesn't always follow the bright script we imagine. In 2012, a devastating turning point arrived without warning. A severe stroke struck Tim Curry like a silent blade, cruelly cutting through the agility and vitality that had defined his entire career. It wasn't just a medical emergency, it was a heartbreaking blow to an artist whose craft depended on movement, expression, and that unmistakable, powerful voice. From the image of a man who once danced confidently across the Broadway stage, Curry is now forced to live much of his life bound to a wheelchair. The stroke took from him the simplest joys, the freedom to move, and the smooth, expressive power of his once iconic voice. Imagine the pain of someone who once captivated millions with a single spoken line, now struggling just to form a word. This kind of brutal transformation could shatter anyone's spirit, pushing them into the darkest corners of despair and isolation. Yet the most remarkable and inspiring part of Tim Curry's journey is the way he chose to face this brutal twist of fate. He never allowed public pity or the limitations of his own body to define who he was. Instead of retreating to protect a flawless image of the past, he courageously stepped back into the public eye, embracing a new reality, a body that may be weaker, but eyes that still shine with the same sharp wit, warmth, and unmistakable spark that has always made him Tim Curry. He refused to retire, because for Curry, art was never just a job, it was the very breath that sustained him. Unable to perform with the commanding physicality he once possessed, he turned to voice acting, channeling every remaining ounce of strength and passion into each sound he created. He proved that even if his voice no longer boomed as it once did, the depth of his emotion and the force of his storytelling could still cut straight to the audience's hearts, rising above every physical limitation. The Tim Curry we see today may appear more fragile, moving more slowly than before, yet he stands as a towering symbol of unwavering determination. He is living proof that while the body may be confined to a wheelchair, the soul of a true artist remains forever free, unbound, and soaring. His story is not a tragedy meant to draw our tears, but an anthem of resilience, a powerful reminder of rebirth, inner strength, and the unbreakable spirit we can all learn from. No tribute to resilience would be complete without honoring the beloved Sandy from Grease, Olivia Newton-John. With her golden hair, radiant smile, and crystal-clear voice, she became a lasting symbol of innocence and young love, capturing hearts across generations around the world. Yet behind the bright pop music spotlight and those joyful, unforgettable dance numbers, her life was a long and often painful journey marked by relentless battles against the cruel force of breast cancer. It wasn't a brief fight, it was a brutal, decades-long crusade that tested the limits of a woman's strength and willpower. The shadow of illness first entered her life in 1992, just as her career was shining at its brightest, forcing her to put everything on hold and fight for her life. For a time, it seemed as though the nightmare had finally ended after successful treatments. But fate struck again when the disease quietly returned in 2013 following a severe car accident. Tragedy reached its peak in 2017 when doctors confirmed that the cancer had spread to her bones, stage 4. For most people, facing death even once is overwhelming. Yet Olivia stood at that edge 3 different times, each battle more painful than the last, and each one fought with even greater courage. Over more than 30 years of living side by side with the enemy called cancer, what earned the world's deepest respect was that Olivia Newton-John never allowed herself to become a tragic victim, and she never blamed fate. She transformed her personal suffering into a shared source of strength, becoming a beacon of hope and faith for millions of cancer patients around the world. She poured her heart, her voice, and even her own fortune into founding the Olivia Newton-John Cancer Research and Wellness Center in Australia, while also emerging as a passionate advocate for plant-based therapies that help ease pain and support healing. And even as her body endured relentless, bone-deep agony, every time she appeared in public, she radiated a warm, sunlit smile, a smile that seemed to carry comfort, courage, and healing energy to everyone who saw it. Her passing in August 2022 left an immense void in the hearts of fans around the world, yet it also marked the close of a life journey that remained graceful, meaningful, and whole until the very last moment. Olivia's greatest legacy to humanity wasn't just her timeless songs or her unforgettable roles, it was her unwavering optimism in the face of overwhelming darkness. Through her own life, she proved a profound truth. It's not the length of our time on Earth that matters most, but the quality of our days and the courage with which we face our struggles. And what about you? Do you believe Olivia's resilience and optimism are the greatest lessons she left behind for the world? If so, drop a 1. And if you're not completely convinced, leave a 0 and share your honest thoughts with us. Enjoy the video, and don't forget to like, share, and hit that subscribe button to support the channel and help it grow. Be sure to join the conversation in the comments below. Your perspective might be exactly what resonates with or inspires someone else in our community.